we were in Groveland, and we'd always wanted to have a cottage down on the Cape. We'd summered here since we met and loved it. And we got to a place where that could be a possibility. So we began to look, and we wanted to see what was available, where was it available that we could afford, and figure out what was important to us. So we discovered the Griffin Realty site along with some others, but eventually I started using the Griffin site exclusively because it met all the questions I had from assessing properties, going back and reassessing them and thinking about, what's important. What about this? What about that? What do I need for the family? Finally, after looking for months, the spring came. We were ready to actually put our feet on the ground and come down and look at places. So we called you, and we actually had a list of houses, I think. Told you, I think this is the house we're going to buy, and everything else is going to have to beat that house. And when we got to that house, it was not at all what the photographs had led us to believe it was. The photographs probably were from 20 years earlier, and it was a big disappointment. So you had the list that I had sent you and said, well, let's go look at some other things. And you had never met us, so you obviously are trying to figure out what is really important to us. What do we really want? And we spent a long day looking at a bunch of properties that we just kept ruling out. And then you said, I have a property that you might be interested in. And you led us to what ended up being the cottage that we bought. The biggest challenge was finding out what we could afford. What could we afford in our budget, and where would be the best place, where that affordability was, what would be the best location for us. And we didn't know, the Cape's a big place. So we'd always gone to one area of the Cape, and what we found was the area that we thought we'd like to be in was unaffordable for us. So we started looking in areas that we really didn't know. And it was important to work with you because you could show us neighborhoods. You knew this area. Once we started looking in the areas where, we could afford to buy a cottage, and you had sort of narrowed down what was important to us, you were able to lead us to the type of houses that might work for us and our family. So that was probably the biggest challenge, is figuring out what we could have as a summer cottage. For us, this was the first time we'd ever had a summer cottage. It wasn't like, we're not the rich and famous where we just, had all kinds of houses. This was a big deal for us to have a place where our family could gather in the summer, enjoy everything the Cape has to offer. Once we bought the cottage, we, began to do renovations to make it comfortable for us. We thought we would have this cottage forever and ever and ever, pass it down to the kids even. Things changed for us after we were here, and we realized that I really needed to retire, and our dream had been that when we retired we would move down to the Cape, and so it was time to do that. Things changed in our lifestyle. We decided we needed a year-round home, and the cottage was just a little too small to make it a year-round home. So we went back to you and said, okay, you did a great job for us the first time. Help us find something that's going to meet our new needs, which is going to be larger, but still a downsize from the house our primary residence that we were going to sell. We really needed to downsize and have something that'd be easy to take care of. And again, close to the water, what we could afford in our budget, and meet all our needs. The biggest challenge in selling one and buying another was timing. How quickly could we sell one and buy another, and turn that over. We had two houses. Now I had a fully furnished cottage and a fully furnished house, and I had to find a place to put all that stuff and simplify, and keeping the cottage ready for viewing, and being available and knowing people were going to come in and out. It was easy to work with you guys. You had a system where, I got notified that somebody was interested, and it was usually a 24 or 48 hour notice, so that was easy. Although I can tell you, me being me, I still found it annoying to have to, okay, I have to get my dogs out of the house, etc., etc., but that's part of the process, and someone's going to look at our house. We started looking at houses, and it was a little trickier to find a year-round house because we were looking for more, and we really relied on you to guide us in that. So here we are now after the fact. We've sold the cottage. We got more for the cottage than we originally thought we would, so that was great news. And we found the perfect location. 7-8 minute walk to the beach, 3 to 4 minute drive to the big beach, and we're settling in and doing our renos there and making it our own. We're very, very happy having worked with you. And so now we've worked with you 3 times, purchasing, selling, and repurchasing, and we're very happy Griffins.